differences have you guys seen since you arrived in Jacksonville related to the precautions the UFC is taking with the coronavirus?
I I feel like we're being treated like true professionals, and everything's cut off from the hotel. Everything's cleaned up for us. Everything's our own. So we have our own sauna. We have our own rooms. We're treated like royalty. I feel like this is how it should be every single fight, not just during Corona.
It does sound like some of the fighters like appreciate this maybe fight week more than normal, just because of what you were talking about, all the attention.
It's not just attention. I mean, everybody's nicer. Everybody's more attentive. Everybody's more kind. Everybody's in pure service to us, like we're cutting weight and like we're dealing with a pandemic at the same time. So it's like the pandemic adds a little sprinkle of we feel sorry for you almost, but if it's like, man, it should be this way every time. It really should, I believe. This is true professionalism by the UFC currently, and I've never felt a fight week like this in my life.
A couple of fighters mentioned the testing with the swab up the nose as being uncomfortable or whatever. What was it like for you? And was that as soon as you got to the hotel you had to do that?
Yeah. We pretty much get right to it. Make sure that we're all corona free. That's the best way to put it.
And then did you stay in your hotel? I mean, did you stay in your hotel room all night? And is that different from what you normally would do? I mean, I know you're not going to go out, late at night on a fight week, but I mean, I don't know if you usually like to go out at all, just walk around the area and stuff like that. Was that different?
Well, you got to really just put into perspective what's different for you. Are you able to leave your home? Are you able? I mean, not really. You're not supposed to, right? We're in the same. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but we're under the same pretenses as everybody at home. So we're not getting treated any better, or we're not getting treated any worse. I think we're just getting treated with a ton of attention, and it's nice to be respected.
Very good. Thank you. That's all I got.
Thank you. Caroline Pierce from BT Sport is up next.
Hey, Dom, so good to see you back in a fight week. And I just wanted to ask you, what does it feel like to be back preparing for a fight just a day away from weigh-ins, albeit a very different environment to what you're used to?
I'm thankful for food and water. It's a reality check. I feel like everybody in the world should have to go through this one time in their life so that you can be thankful for the little things. Because I could jump out in that water right now, butt naked, drink the entire lake. Whatever I could drink it all. So I'll tell you right now, like it creates a thankfulness for the little things. I'm grateful to be in this position right now.
And obviously, we know you've had a considerable time away. That's nothing new for you. We know that you don't see ring rust as a real thing. So just describe to us, how's your body feeling right now, health-wise, the shoulder, etc.?
I mean, I'm in the weight cut period, so that kind of sucks, but that's always sucky. Other than that, I said it in the countdown, I feel like money. My body's healthy. I was fighting with a shoulder injury for about three title fights. I had that shoulder injury, and I was just shooting stem cells into my body to try to make do with the best I could, and it was constantly aching, constantly sore, hitting pads and wrestling, and I was constantly having to ice. Now I don't have to do any of that. Now it's stronger than ever. My knees feel stronger than ever. My hands are completely rebuilt. I feel great, to be honest. I really do. I feel stronger than I did in a long time. And, when I went through that year of title fights, how many champions can you say in the history of the sport? It's not a lot. I would almost be certain that I fought 3 title fights in a year. That really took a toll on me that year. So the time off has served me very well.
So straight back into a title fight, of course, against Henry Cejudo. You've mentioned that you don't feel he's fought necessarily the caliber of fighter as yourself at bantamweight and in the past. So what do you feel you bring to the table here that he may not be used to, even being the Olympic athlete that he is?
Well, it's the range in the space. That's a big difference. So Marlon Moraes is a linear fighter, straightforward and back. Not a whole lot of side to side or filling the gaps with angles. So there's all different planes of fighting that I fight on, and none of them are wrong or right to me. Not just forward and back. 1. 2, I'm long and lanky. Also, I can wrestle. I have a wrestling background. So where Henry Cejudo knows how to grind, I know how to grind. Instead of getting tired and pulling back, I grind with him. The people that he's beaten, Joseph Benavidez, TJ Dillashaw, beat TJ Dillashaw at 125 pounds. I think at 135 pounds, that's a completely different fight. I think TJ Dillashaw is more durable to take the shot that he couldn't at 125. That's why I never went to 125, because I knew I wouldn't be durable enough to make. I could make the weight, but my body wouldn't be durable enough to take the fight and perform to my highest level. So I know 35 is the lowest I can go. So Benavidez, beat him. I fought Benavidez twice. Demetrius Johnson beat him once, lost to him once. But on the second one that Henry beat him, it was close. And they're the same height. So he was able to utilize the clinch a lot. He was able to utilize knees a lot. And he was also able to out-wrestle him, which is what I was also able to do. So there's a lot of different things that you look at in the people that Henry's beaten. Not only have I beaten pretty much every single guy that he's beaten, but I beat him for titles. And other than Marlon Moraes, I've definitely had a lot more title fights and a lot more time in that octagon than him. All that stuff added up, it's ring generalship. It's understanding where to be. It's understanding how to use the time, understanding how to use the fight in every single minute, in every single second of every single round. And that's what I do very well.
Of course, getting the win and the title is what you're going for. But how would you like it to play out? Are you looking for cage time? Are you looking to go those 5 rounds because you've been out the cage for so long? Or is it a fast finish that you're after?
Everybody, I'm going to tell you something. And this is why I hate I'm going for the finish. We are all going for the finish. Every single one of us wants to walk in there and do what happened, what Masvidal did. If we could fight every single fight like that, it would be that way. Jump in there, jump guy the knee in the face, and the fight's over, and we walk out with a check. Every single person wants that. Does it happen? No. It's like going into a Super Bowl football game and saying that it's not going to go into overtime, or that they're not going to rely on a field goal to win it. It's just, they're the 2 best teams in the world, so you expect it to go down to the nitty-gritty, or it's going to be a blowout. It's very rarely, not that. Either a blowout or right up to the last second. I don't hold on and attach to any of that. I just let it be what it's going to be.
I hear what you're saying, Tom, but do you remember Brad Pickett saying he felt disappointed if he didn't get punched in the face quite a bit and go the full distance?
Well, it's not me. If I can go in there and not have you lay a finger on me, that's what I will do. Now, that might not be what anybody else wants. I'm sure a lot of people would like to see me get punched, but maybe Brad Pickett likes to get punched. I don't want you to touch me. Don't touch me at all.
And last question from me. You've been preparing with Jeremy Stephens, obviously also on this card. How beneficial has that been for you, both of you training together and preparing for such a good fight?
Well, he's just so big and strong. It's hard and different, and powers a lot of stuff. He uses a lot of power. He's got extremely good balance, good wrestling, tons of experience. Like all the stuff that I was saying, he's got as much experience as me. Maybe not on 5-round title fights, but in the octagon in general, he's got tons of fights, over 20 fights in the UFC alone. So that kind of experience is just so good to feed off of. He's got so many good things to bounce ideas off of, and just training alone is just amazing because he's bigger than me. He's got about, at any given time, between 15 and 20 pounds of weight. So I'm a little bit quicker than him, so I add a speed advantage that I get to utilize on him. And he adds a size advantage that he gets to utilize on me. And as training partners, it's a perfect push-pull.
Best of luck, Dominic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Manabu Takashima from MMA Planet in Japan.
Hi, Dominic. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. MMA improved a lot last 3 years, especially in the scrum game. And when you're taking your opponent down, but he goes back to on foot quickly. So which part of the games did you improve mostly rather than last 3 years?
Very educated question. I appreciate it. I would say that I've definitely been working on holding people down too, utilizing the takedowns to create advantages and create openings on specific areas, not just in submissions, but also on the way up and in the clinch and everywhere. But if you look at Henry, he's got a habit of being very good with inside trips from overhooks on both sides, underhooks on both sides. And he also likes to switch to the clinch. He'll go from the clinch 2 overhooks and underhooks to hit his inside trips, and a lot of different things that he uses there to get advantages. So yeah, I need to be scrambling. He's going to be scrambling. In the 135-pound division, I think that's just something that you see a lot because everybody knows martial arts so well. So saying is very true. It's important that if takedowns happen, that we take advantage of them. That's something I
Okay, all right. And also, fighting in no audience venue. So you gave an example of Japanese fan noisy. Is this a positive or negative impression you have? And then what are you realize as Japanese MMA fan?
Yeah, the reason why I created that relation is it's been done before. I used to watch Pride all the time, and it would be silent. And from my experience of the Japanese community, they're very educated in the sport, and they want to know every single move and respect every single move. So that's why they're quiet and they listen. And they're attention to everything. It looks like to me. I mean, I don't know. I've never fought Japan, but that's what it looks like when I would watch Pride. The respect is there very highly for martial arts and for us as martial artists. So I'm looking at it as that. If it's been done with those athletes before, where they're fighting in pure silence, they can only hear each other's hearts, and I can do that. Silent. So I'm kind of visualizing it's going to be like if I fought in Japan, where it would just be silent in the crowd. Whether there's people there or not doesn't matter. At the end, you get to enjoy the people because you guys are huge fans. But during the fight itself, it's silent. So it's been done before. I can do it. And that's more what I meant.